to tackle this issue, this subject. Was Prophet Muhammad epileptic, or did Prophet Muhammad have epilepsy? So this is a neurological analysis. So this is one of the many charge that they have, and this goes way back to the time of Byzantine, when they accuse Prophet Muhammad of being epileptic. So during that time, the word epilepsy do not have any negative connotation. Basically, you can check out. There's a book that I'm going to give you the reference. So in that time, the epilepsy was related to magical event. It was not considered a neurological disorder. So the claim, the charge about the Prophet being epileptic is came from a mistranslation of a Arabic word into Latin language. So, and there were many Christian missionary even in the second and third century of Islam. They claim that Prophet Muhammad was epileptic. So it later became a neurological disorder. So epilepsy was related to prophecy, bodily possession, or lunar eclipse, something magical. So epilepsy was related to this kind of magical event, you know. But later it became a neurological disorder. So when they attack this is one of the many attack they have against Islam, against the Prophet. So it contradicts their other charge against Islam. So for example, when they claim that Prophet Muhammad was not well, he was not in his senses, he was mentally ill when he was reciting the Quranic verses, and people wrote down and make a meaning out of it. So you cannot claim that this person deliberately stolen from your Bible. You cannot. It contradicts the other claim that they have. So when you attack, this happen when you attack Islam from left, right, and center, you actually contradict. So the Christian contradicted. They actually claim that there was not a historical person called Muhammad. So they contradict each other heavily. So let's take a deep dive into this article. I will link this article, so anybody who do not want to listen to me can check out and read the article. And I will give you link about a book, The History of Epilepsy, and you can say that it was not related to anything neurological in the first century. So the reference that they use is actually supernatural event. So the case for Prophet being epilepsy is came from a supernatural event. So you cannot question the supernatural event. You have to take the text as what it's trying to say. So for example, I can also make a historical claim about the virgin birth, that the Jesus was not actually a legitimate child. His follower later claim that he was born of a virgin, but he was actually a illegitimate child. So I can make a historical claim regarding this, but this is a supernatural event. You have to take the supernatural as it is. So let's take a deep dive. So William Moore, one of the first who come up with this theory, actually mistranslated, let's say. So this word umid was actually a mistranslation of a different Arabic word. I think William Moore deliberately did. So what kind of epilepsy does the Prophet have according to them? So they cannot prove anything, because he was living in a desert, in a very brutal condition. So they claim that from 22 years he was suffering from epilepsy, and nobody said. There's a word for a epilepsy person. Funnily, there is a incident about a Bedouin woman being epileptic and Prophet curing him. So there is a word for epilepsy. This is not a word for epilepsy. This is not a word for epilepsy. You can read the whole article. The claim that they give, the example that they give, is actually supernatural event. It is not. So some you can check out the brother Farid's video regarding this epilepsy claim. So in order to claim that Prophet was epileptic, they have to claim that whomever experienced this kind of divine revelation also was epilepsy. So they also claim that Halima, the wet nurse of the Prophet, was also epilepsy. They also claim that his mother was also epileptic. So they also claim that Aisha was also epileptic. I'm not kidding. You can check out Brother Farid's book. This is very pathetic when they go out and try to malign the image of the Prophet. They actually contradict each other. They use the supernatural event to claim that he was not well. So if he was not well, he was not in his senses, how can you claim that the Prophet stolen from your Bible? You cannot claim that. They actually question, now they are questioning the existence of the Prophet. So please check out this article. This is a great book, The Falling Sickness. So you can check out this book guy actually mentioned the Prophet, how in medieval time people claim that Prophet was suffering from epilepsy. Early Christian writer, Jewish writer, also claimed that he was epilepsy. It was based on a mistranslation of a Arabic word in Latin language. Later Christian deliberately used this charge to malign the image of the Prophet. And there has been a history of epilepsy. People in medieval time, the person with epilepsy people do not consider him a mental case. They claim that he was suffering from a supernatural event. So the claim of epilepsy had a historical development from moon citation, lunar eclipse, to bodily possession by a divine spirit. So people with this kind of epilepsy people consider them epilepsy? You know, in ancient Greek, people who was a oracle also consider epileptic. So it has history of being, in Latin it was used for something else. Now it became a mental illness.